I'll give you two pieces of advice on installing one of these starters. Number one, put a little bit of grease around where the engine and the starter connect. Number two, hold your starter in place while you hand tighten the bolts. What'll happen is the starter will be misaligned just barely, and that will cause it to bind up, which on these aluminum case engines can kill it. If you're new to the project, a big warm welcome. If you're a tough old root, then welcome back. This is our 1-ton Mini X, and in today's video we're going to be changing the starter and the key switch on it, which this has a 420cc Predator, so this will work for any machine with that engine and or any machine with the Honda that engine is cloned from. Here we are. First and foremost, this is not my trailer, it's my neighbor's trailer. We use this trailer to haul the Mini X up to his house and dig him a sewage line. We also put it back on the trailer and brought it here to steep in the woods. And now it won't start. The thing won't start. We piddled with it a bunch. I actually ripped my fingernail off. I mean, really, it's ripped off to fold it back down and tape it because the pull cord is in the wrong position. That is number one. That sucked. So me and my neighbor looked at it for a bit. It was too hot. He had to finally go home. And here I am with his trailer trying to diagnose this machine. Only thing that we know other than it's not starting is that we smelled an electrical smell when we parked it on this trailer. It started up fine, it drove on the trailer fine, cut it off, and we thought, what is that smell? So obviously that points towards some kind of electrical issue. First thing that I've done is pull out this ignition switch because, to be completely honest, I can't remember if it's supposed to click 3 times or not, but it's only clicking 2. I don't see how we're supposed to pull this out of here, but we can at least spray some carburetor cleaner and then oil in it and see if that will work. Can you get my, yeah, something's up with it. Now, when I pulled it apart, there was some rust here. Obviously, that's copper. These connectors are copper. So that means the actual lock mechanism is rusting. So hopefully this is it. Click it, you know, get it to click that 3rd click and we're done. See how brown that was, Abby?
Yeah, that's brown.
Now let it dry off and we'll put some oil in it.
I'll take oil.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a 3rd position, at least on the internals of it. So I was able to get it apart and a bunch of stuff fell out. Whoop, there went my lubricant. A bunch of stuff fell out of it, but it is wiggling a whole lot more now. So we are just going to try it. We're going to connect it back up, see what happens, whether it starts or not, and we'll go from there. I'm thinking either our solenoid, our starter solenoid's out. I'm not hearing a 3rd click, so on, click. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off this front cover just to make the thing easy, get our hands on what we're actually trying to reach. I think we have a dead starter. I'm using this file so that I don't get shocked. Rubber handle and whatnot. And nothing. I'm connecting the 2. Yep, I mean I am definitely connecting the 2 of them. Not getting squat. All right. Well, hey, there we go, I guess. Now, I don't understand why the hell it didn't start when I pulled the cord, but it looks like the starter's bad. As some of you may have picked up on, yes, I absolutely ripped my fingernail off trying to pull start this machine. It was terrible. It really hurt. I had to keep my stuff together though, because my neighbor was standing there and I was really, you know, the mission was to get it off his trailer so he didn't have to leave it here, and I just had to kind of get over the whole finger deal. But I will tell you, that was 100% the machine's fault. That's how I see it. It's your fault. because of the way this thing is designed and because of the way the pull cord is set up and its placement, that's really easy to do. However, I can also tell you we are going to modify this machine yet again to get around that sort of design flaw where you can start it without losing fingernails. Now that I'm pretty sure it's the starter, pretty sure, I'm going to try to pull start it yet again. This is a really hard machine to pull start. You will rip your finger off, apparently. Entire fingernail came off. It's horrible. But I'm going to try pulling it some more. We'll just see. I don't know. Maybe something will happen. I was convinced that the key was getting in the wrong, wasn't making it to the third position. So you've got to pull it out a bit and then do it. Hooray! Yeah! It's a little bittersweet, right? Why in the hell didn't it do that immediately, madame? Whatever. Anyway, rock and roll, man. Yeah, now I gotta clean up. I called in some backup to help me move this. Unfortunately, there's not a car in front of it now, and our car is way far away. So we're just gonna do the best that we can. Craig, if you're watching, dude, I really don't want to mess up your trailer. I'm just trying to get it back to you as fast as possible. So yeah, try to drive it off. Be there in about 45 minutes. Look at them. Everybody, they got time to pick berries. We ain't gone very far though. We still have to fix it. It's definitely broken. But it's nice to have it moving. Now my neighbor can get his trailer back, and I mean, in theory, I can continue to use this like normal. Just have to pull start it every time, which apparently doesn't always work. Didn't work when we were trying to do it earlier, and I ripped my damn fingernail off. I mean, off. Ain't playing no games here. Had to hold it back down. So we have deduced that the starter is bad. It's right here. I can touch it. I can lay hands on it. It's only held on by 2 bolts. However, the stupid part is that in order to remove those 2 bolts, we have to take this front cover off. The bolts actually thread in from the front of the engine underneath the cover instead of from the back like they should be. And in order to get access to the front cover bolts, all of them, we're going to have to remove the back plate on this Mini X. So in order to change something that's in the front, I can touch with my hands, only held on with 2 bolts. I got to pull the back end off. I'm going to take a quick second to tell you guys about the Steep in the Woods website, where we sell all of your water needs, your spring water needs, from mountain to mouth, spring development systems, sediment filter buckets, tabletop drinking water filters, worm compost bins, super sweet necklaces, and more. So if you're interested in any of those, click here and check it out. Only once you've removed those pieces can you get full access to the front of this engine. How long is this bolt? I'm screwed. It's a good thing we don't have to take this front cover completely off, because it doesn't really come out without taking off yet more body panels. That's rusty, man. The hell is that so rusty for? Brand new damn freaking 9 hours on it. Once you have that front cover off, this is as simple of a job as it should have been, which is 2 bolts and replacing the starter. Well, it's starting to get dark, so yet again, it looks like this will be a project we have to finish, the next day. In the meantime, I am going to do my best to get these 2 solenoid wires off. It's a really crappy place to try to get your socket to, but I've almost got one of them, so just one more to go, and then tomorrow we can actually get the thing fixed. You're going to need yourself one of these little bendy tools. No other way to do it. One of the main problems is you got this oil tank. There ain't no way in the world I'm moving this oil tank off of the machine, but it's hard to get stuff around it to get to this starter. All right, well, that answers my question. I was concerned that the starter may not have enough room to come out, but since it just fell over, I guess we're good. Oh, there's one more wire attached to this solenoid. There we go. All right. Well, hey, the old one's out. Now we simply reverse the process, right? But most important, by God, we don't forget to change the key switch too, because that's what the whole deal was. Sticky key switch not only killed itself, but it killed the starter. Dang it. Yep. I was hoping that I could flip the 2 bolts around and get to them from the outside, but the inside of this case is not threaded, so it's impossible. It's impossible to take these 2 bolts that are stupidly placed and return them back into position the opposite way. So we're kind of stuck with it just being ridiculous. I'll give you 2 pieces of advice on installing one of these starters. Number 1, put a little bit of grease around where the engine and the starter connect. Number 2, hold your starter in place while you hand tighten the bolts. What'll happen is the starter will be misaligned just barely, and that will cause it to bind up, which on these aluminum case engines can kill it. Can absolutely kill it. That happened to me. 5 seconds back, I was tightening it up with my impact, and it was slightly crooked, and I could have absolutely busted this aluminum bracket here. So add grease, hold it in place while you hand tighten, and then really a general rule of thumb, don't use an impact on aluminum cases. And if you're just replacing the starter on one of these engines or one of these machines, that's it. You've now got all the information you need to do so. You just simply reverse the process from here. However, we're also going to change the ignition key, because that's what killed the starter. The ignition key got stuck, killed itself, and it killed the starter. So we have a little bit more work to do here. Hands down, replacing that starter was a whole lot more stupid than it ever should have been, but at least the key is easy. You unscrew this top part, pull out your old key, unhook it, take your new key, carefully plug it up, place it back inside. Oh, wait, nope, shoot, you gotta take this off. Place it inside, and then screw this back down. You're ready to rock and roll, except that, your machine's still in pieces. Otherwise, though, the important stuff has been changed. The starter was ridiculous, having to change that. However, the key is super easy. You just remove the old one, unplug it, plug in the new one, and screw it into position. It's straightforward. Really, if I'd have known the key was the issue, that I wish I'd go back in time and just change that stupid key instead of having to do the starter too. But I didn't. But at least it is easy. If you feel this key doing anything weird, get yourself a new one. So I did bump the engine over just to make sure the thing was fixed From here on out, we're just replacing all of the covers and body parts that we removed. I do, however, put a little bit of glue on each of my bolts. And there you have it, right? That is changing the starter on a Predator 420 and or the Honda that it is cloned after. It's 100% doable, although it is kind of ridiculous. Seems like they could have designed it better. I will say I'm still very happy with the machine. It was the most expensive purchase we've ever made in our lives. I've never had a more expensive purchase than this machine, but I am really hopeful on what it will allow us to do here. And if you guys have any of these machines, you now know how to change the starter going in. I did not. It was all new to me. But as always, if you liked what you saw, hit that button. New to the project, hit that other button. Help support the project. There are links below, including the website. Go pick yourself up a cool necklace and a spring development kit. And I will see you next time, Steve in the Woods.